Cardinal Pierbattista Pizzaballa is a name that many in the Catholic world are starting to notice. Though he may not be the most widely known among the general public, within the Church he has steadily earned respect and admiration. As speculation grows over who may become the next pope, the name Pizzaballa is now part of serious conversations, not just because of where he comes from or what roles he has held, but because of the unique combination of values, experiences, and strengths he carries. He represents a blend of tradition and new vision, global awareness, and deep faith. He brings something that many cardinals, clergy, and lay people long for, a figure who can unite, heal, and lead the Church into a future filled with both challenge and hope. One of the key reasons Cardinal Pizzaballa is seen as a strong candidate for the papacy is his proven financial leadership. When he was appointed the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, he stepped into a financial crisis. The diocese was drowning in a $100 million debt. Many thought it would take decades to fix the situation, but under his leadership, the debt was reduced to just $20 million. He made tough decisions, selling properties, hiring professionals, forming a financial board for better management, and starting new fundraising efforts. He didn't hide the problems. Instead, he chose transparency and smart strategy. This showed not only courage, but also deep care for the long-term health of the Church. Today, with the Vatican managing billions in assets, having a pope who understands money, stewardship, and financial responsibility is more important than ever. This experience could become one of his strongest advantages in the eyes of the cardinals. Another reason is tied to his nationality. Cardinal Pizzaballa is Italian. While the Church has embraced popes from outside of Italy in recent decades, like John Paul II from Poland, Benedict XVI from Germany, and Francis from Argentina, there is still a strong desire among some for a return to the Italian tradition. Italy remains home to the Vatican, and Italian clergy still form a powerful voice in the College of Cardinals. In times of confusion or division, some may lean toward a familiar and stable choice. An Italian pope might represent a return to known structures, someone who understands the rhythms and history of the Roman Church. Cardinal Pizzaballa could be that safe yet strong choice, combining Italian roots with international experience. What also sets Cardinal Pizzaballa apart is his Franciscan background. He is a member of the Order of Friars Minor, a branch of the Franciscans, known for their humility, simplicity, and service to the poor. This Franciscan identity shapes his daily actions and deep beliefs. His episcopal motto, "My grace is sufficient for you," says a lot about the kind of man he is. He doesn't seek fame or titles. He focuses on trusting God, serving others, and leading with love. Many Catholics love Pope Francis for his pastoral heart, but some have also been concerned about doctrinal confusion. Cardinal Pizzaballa could be the bridge between these two desires. He can bring the same kindness and compassion that Pope Francis is known for, while also holding on to clear teaching and theological consistency. His balance of service and clarity could make him a unifying leader for all sides of the Church. Age and energy also matter when choosing a pope. Cardinal Pizzaballa is 60 years old. That's young in papal terms, but not too young. He is old enough to have wisdom and experience, but young enough to bring energy and long-term vision to the role. Being pope is not just a spiritual job. It's physically demanding, emotionally intense, and deeply personal. It involves travel, meetings, decision-making, and carrying the weight of the whole Church on one's shoulders. A younger pope could serve for decades, offering continuity and leadership for a generation, but this could also be a point of concern. Some may fear giving such a long reign to someone they are not fully sure about yet, but for others, this long potential service is exactly what the Church needs: stability, planning, and growth over time. What makes Cardinal Pizzaballa's story even more interesting is that he is not part of the typical Vatican power circles. He has not built his career inside the Roman Curia, the administrative heart of the Vatican. Instead, he served in Jerusalem, far from Rome, far from the usual clerical politics. This makes him unique. It shows he is not shaped by careerism or internal church politics. He is shaped by real-world ministry, by living with people, and by facing daily challenges outside. The Vatican bubble. Serving in the Holy Land, the very birthplace of Christianity, gives him a kind of authority that is both ancient and relevant. It reminds the Church of its roots, not in grand offices, but in the sacred soil where Jesus walked. This also means he brings a global perspective. He is not focused only on Europe or Rome. He sees the Church as something truly universal. Cardinal Pizzaballa has also lived at the crossroads of faiths. For many years he worked and led in Israel and Palestine, two areas filled with religious tension and diversity. Christians are a tiny minority there, living among Jews and Muslims. To lead in such a place means learning how to build bridges every day. It means practicing peace, patience, and dialogue, not just as theories, but as daily survival. He was part of the Custody of the Holy Land, a special Franciscan group that guards Catholic holy sites while also nurturing interfaith relationships. As custos, he led conversations between religions and handled disputes around holy places, like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and the Church of the Nativity. These are some of the most sensitive spots on earth. His ability to manage faith and diplomacy at this level is rare and precious. In a world filled with religious tension, having a pope who has lived and breathed peaceful coexistence could make a huge difference. But Cardinal Pizzaballa is not just a diplomat or a strategist. He is also a man of moral courage. In one of the boldest moves by a church leader in recent times, he offered himself in exchange for Israeli hostages taken by Hamas during the recent conflict. "I am ready for an exchange, anything to bring the children home," he said publicly. This shocked the world and inspired many. It showed his willingness to put his life on the line for the innocent. It wasn't a speech, it was a serious offer, a Christ-like gesture. His stance during the conflict also showed balance. He condemned the violence by Hamas, but also spoke honestly about the wrong actions of Israeli forces and settlers. He didn't pick sides to please anyone. He called for justice, truth, and reconciliation. That's the kind of moral leadership the Church needs. Theological balance is another area where Cardinal Pizzaballa shines. He is not extreme in any direction. He is faithful to church teaching but not rigid. He is open to dialogue but not confused. He has given masses facing the altar in the old traditional way, and he has distributed communion on the tongue. These signs show that he respects tradition. At the same time, he doesn't reject the changes that came with the Second Vatican Council. He walks the middle path, honoring the old while embracing the good in the new. Many Catholics today feel pulled between opposing sides, tradition versus reform, clarity versus compassion. Cardinal Pizzaballa could offer a peaceful middle ground, a place where truth and love are not enemies but partners. His diplomatic experience is deep and tested. Fluent in Italian, Hebrew, Arabic, and English, he can speak directly to many people and cultures. His language skills alone are impressive, but it is how he uses them that matters. He helped organize the Vatican prayer meeting in 2014 that brought together Israeli President Shimon Peres and Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas. This was not just symbolic. It was a real attempt at dialogue and peace. He also serves as a consultor to the Vatican's Commission for Relations with Judaism, helping shape how the Church interacts with the Jewish community. His comments during the Israel-Hamas war reflected a careful balance, calling out injustice and urging restraint from all sides. He tries to listen before judging, to build trust before taking action. That kind of diplomacy is deeply needed in today's church and world. Lastly, his global experience cannot be ignored. He leads a vast region that includes Israel, Palestine, Jordan, and Cyprus. Each of these areas has different cultures, political systems, and religious realities. To manage such diversity is no small task. He also works with international Catholic organizations like Aid to the Church in Need and the Catholic Near East Welfare Association. These groups support struggling Christian communities all over the world. Cardinal Pizzaballa is not just a local leader, he is a global shepherd. He understands the joys and pains of Catholics in many places. He listens, he learns, he acts, and he brings their voices to the wider church. All of these qualities, financial wisdom, Italian roots, Franciscan humility, youthful energy, Vatican independence, interfaith skill, Moral courage, theological balance, diplomatic strength, and global outreach come together in one man. That is rare. That is powerful. Of course, no candidate is perfect. Some may worry that he is too young and could stay pope for too long. Others may feel they don't know him well enough. But even these concerns point to a deeper truth. He is a serious candidate, a man to watch, a man who could lead the church with faith, love, and courage. At a time when the church is divided, misunderstood, and in need of healing, the cardinals may be looking for someone new but also someone grounded,